Hey guys, welcome back to another Commander gameplay video. We changed the little recording layout a little bit, so hopefully it's more enjoyable to watch, and hopefully it's a little better, not all crooked and stuff. In this video, we got me piloting a Atraxa, the plus encounter version of the deck, keeping a Forest, a Scoured Barbarians, a Farseek, a Fathom Mage, a Good, Fortune Unicorn, a Thought Sponge, and a Primal Vigor. And we have Tyler piloting the Superfriends version of Atraxa, keeping a Vivid Creek, Hollowed Fountain, Overgrown Tomb, Everflowing Chalice, Tameo Collector of Tales, Grist the Hunger Tide, and an Arcane Denial. Tyler draws for turn. Plays a Vivid Creek tapped with 2 charge counters on it. He then passes the turn. I draw for turn. Play a Temple of Silence that I just drew, and then scry, and pass turn. Tyler untaps. He draws. Plays a Hollowed Fountain. Taking the 2, not forgetting to take down his life this time. Tapping 2. Playing an Everflowing Chalice. Kicked once. He tries to tell me that he gets 2 counters on it, but I'm like, nah, dog. That's not how that works. So I just go ahead and take it down for him. He then passes the turn. I draw for turn. I play a Forest. I then tap 2 for a Rampant Growth. Passing the turn while searching. I get an island to play tapped. Tyler still doesn't realize that I passed the turn already. He draws for turn. Untaps first, obviously. He then plays a tapped Rejuvenating Springs, I think it is. I can't actually read it, but I'm pretty sure it's a Rejuvenating Springs. Then passes the turn. I draw. Play a tapped charge land of my own. I think it's Vivid Meadow. I don't actually know. I then play Farseek, searching for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain. I pass the turn again while searching. Tyler still forgets to take his turn, but he untaps. He draws. Plays a Watery Grave, taking 2 again. Not forgetting this time, like last video. Like he always forgot. He then taps 4, plays Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. Best card in Magic. Not really, but it's okay. He then passes the turn. I untap. I draw. I got a Triome off of that Farseek, by the way. Forgot to mention that. I play a land that gives me a life whenever it enters. And then I play my own Atraxa. I then pass turn and I proliferate my Vivid Meadow. But I don't proliferate any of his stuff, so yeah. I pass turn. He untaps. He draws. Plays an Overgrown Tomb, taking his 2 life again. Good job. You didn't forget any of your triggers. Awesome. He then taps his Everflowing Chalice, taps 2 more, and plays a Dobin Bomb. That card is just toxic. He then +1s and makes Atraxa -1 or -3/0 with no abilities, and then he attacks with Atraxa and I block. He then complains about how I shouldn't have blocked, but why wouldn't I? He then passes the turn. I untap. I draw. Then we gain our life from our Atraxas. I gain 1. He gains 4. I then try to play Atraxa. He then taps 2 and counterspells my Atraxa, like he had this planned out the whole time. I then pass turn. He untaps. He draws. He then taps. And, of course, playing Atraxa, with me having no mana up and cannot counter the Atraxa. He then upticks the Dovin Bond, just upticking it. I don't think he actually he chooses the ghost creature on the playmat that he doesn't have. He then passes turn. I untap. I draw. I play a Rivergate Pathway, I think it's called. I can't actually see it. I then play a Good Fortune Unicorn. I then immediately play a Thought Sponge, putting a plus a counter on the Thought Sponge whenever it enters for my Good Fortune Unicorn. I then proceed to say that he should blow up my Thought Sponge so I can draw 2 cards. I then pass turn. Tyler draws for turn. I accidentally throw my hand all over the table for some reason. He taps 5 and plays a Atraxa Relic Seeker. I then look at it to see what the heck it does because I have no idea what the heck that card does. I've never seen it played ever before. And obviously, if you can't tell, this is Superfriends Atraxa versus plus and counters Atraxa, which one of them is very obviously better. He's currently searching for the token that she makes because he plus one her, but I don't think he finds it. He ends up using a zombie or something. He then swings Atraxa at me. I take 4. He also plus ones Dovin Bond, and he does my Thought Sponge guy. He then passes turn. I untap. I draw. I tap 4 for a Fathom Mage. And whenever it enters, it gets a plus and counter on it. And whenever it gets a plus and counter on it, I draw a card. I play a Prairie Stream, I think it is. I don't actually know. And tap 2. Try to tap 3, but I realized I don't have any green mana to play what I was going to play. So instead, I just tap my Fiend's Tower and play a, don't know the name of the card, Unbound Potential, putting a plus and counter on my Fathom Mage and drawing a card from the counter hitting the Fathom Mage. And then pass turn, Tyler untaps, he draws, plays a Triumph of his own, and then plays Grist the Hunger Tide, which is, in my opinion, the worst card to have in that deck. Like, why would you have it in there? Honestly, I told him to remove it. It's pretty bad. And then goes about plus one-ing his planeswalkers and doing all that shenanigans with the Dovin Bond and the Veraska stuff. Yeah, you know, the usual Atraxa things. Makes another little zombie, but it's actually a 2/2 pirate. I believe he neg 7s the Dovin Bond and makes it so where I can only untap 2 permanents each turn, which kind of sucks for me, but it's fine. He then goes to his end step and proliferates. So I untap my 4s, then my Rafine's Tower, and draw a card. I then play an Exotic Orchard and tappeth the 3. Well, eventually I tappeth the 3 and play Hydra's Growth, which is the card I wanted to play last turn, but I didn't have any green mana. What it does is, whenever it enters, I put a plus and counter on Fathom Mage, and every upkeep, I can double Fathom Mage's power, and I draw a card from Fathom Mage whenever it gets a plus and counter. I then say, Tyler, why don't you just kill me? Because you can just neg 10 your Veraska, give me 1 HP, and then swing with the Atraxa. But he's like, I want to do something cool. But I'm just like, no, just do what I just do that. So instead he just does that instead of doing the thing that's cool. And I go down to 1 HP, and he swings Atraxa at me. And I die to a horrible Atraxa Superfriends deck that everybody hates playing against. But, you know, it's still cool. So yeah. Welcome to Magic. Plus and counters are superior, but, you know, it just didn't have a good showing. That's all it is. But yeah, his Atraxa Superfriends deck, I absolutely stomped my plus and counter deck. The reason being is my Atraxa got countered and he just had Atraxa out longer than I had my Atraxa out. I think if I would have had my Atraxa out, it wouldn't have gotten countered. I probably would have been able to win because I would have just Hydra Growth my Atraxa and then just swung. And yeah, that would have been it. I also had Herald of Secret Streams in my hand, which makes my plus and counter creatures unblockable. But, you know, Atraxa got countered, so couldn't pay 8 mana to get my Atraxa out. But usually these decks are like pretty even. They usually just like bounce off each other for a while, and then someone ends up winning with either a planeswalker ultimate or commander damage, which is usually me winning from commander damage. But yeah, Tyler's deck had just a better showing than mine. So yeah, that's awesome. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys think. And if we made any misplays, let us know because we're amateurs. Yeah, later.